Michael Connelly is the acclaimed best-selling author of more than 30 novels. With over 70 million copies of his books sold worldwide and translated into 40 foreign languages, Connelly is one of the most beloved and successful writers working today.
I nominated Michael Connelly for the Lifetime Achievement Award because not only is he a stellar writer, and not just because of his tremendous success, but also because of his profound talent.
Michael Connelly began as a journalist. He's told me in interviews that he knew he wanted to be a fiction writer, but he felt he needed that grounding in journalism. So he graduated from the University of Florida with a journalism degree and worked for a while at newspapers.
I grew up in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and I worked for that newspaper for about 7 years before I went to Los Angeles. And I got an opportunity to ride with the homicide squad, and this is way back, before they had cell phones. So I had a pager, and when they got a call, I got a call, and I was basically side by side with detectives as they worked 3 different murders for a week. And just everything I saw there just really informed what I do.
One of the things that contributes to his books is that he learned so much firsthand about both cops and criminals covering that beat.
My first book was called The Black Echo, and it was inspired by my first day on the job in Los Angeles, working for a newspaper, and I had to write about a robbery that the robbers tunneled underneath a main street in downtown and then up into a bank over a holiday weekend, and looted all the safe deposit boxes and so forth. And it was a really masterfully created planned crime, and so it really captured the imagination of people.
The Black Echo is the first one featuring the primary recurring character, Los Angeles Police Department Detective Hieronymus Harry Bosch. Connelly named Bosch after the Dutch painter Hieronymus Bosch, known for his paintings full of sin and redemption.
When I first came across his art at the University of Florida, and I was just taking a humanities course, and the teacher was fascinated with Bosch, and I'd never heard of him before that, so it was like, wow, this is pretty cool. This is why I came to college. The paintings are a lot like crime scenes. They're a world gone wrong, they're chaos, and that's what a murder scene is. And so I drew this kind of metaphoric connection.
The Black Echo won the prestigious Mystery Writers of America Edgar Award for Best First Novel in 1992. Since then, Connelly has won nearly every major award given to mystery writers.
Every Michael Connelly book is a masterclass in thriller writing.
You're being confident in what you're doing, but you also know you can't rest on your laurels. Continuing a series of books about the same character, he or she can't be static book to book. They have to evolve. I'm a writer in terms of being a storyteller, but I'm easily inspired by a fantastic painting, or a painting that affects me, or a piece of music that affects me. Part of the writing process is to take the world around you and put it into your work.
And now, of course, he's taken it from book to screen, and it's just an amazing flow of creativity. He's brought his characters to life with great success in Bosch, in the Amazon series.
When I was 19 and I said I want to be a writer, I didn't just say I want to be a writer. I said I want to be a crime novelist. That's what influenced me. Raymond Chandler. Everybody counts or nobody counts is just a doctrine of fairness, absolute fairness and equality.
Bosch might not call himself a feminist. He's probably too cranky, but he is.
Well, I think in the particular genre where I work, I have the opportunity to explain what I think is modern nobility. There's not a lot of it out there, and I think to do a job that takes you into human darkness, the dark side of our world, it means a lot to me if I can kind of share that hidden nobility that some of these people carry.
Michael Connelly is, for anybody writing in crime fiction, is a luminary. Somebody who has, reached the heights of crime fiction writing.
I work hard, I keep my head down, and write what I want to write. When you acknowledge that it's not all about talent. I would say talent in the writing game is less than half of it. You got to have good people behind you and in front of you, and you got to have a lot of luck. I have my family, my wife, who's always the first reader of my stuff. I'm the luckiest writer I know. I'm probably the luckiest person I know. And so if you acknowledge that, you can't help but be humble about it.
It's clear that he's constantly pushing himself creatively. That's another reason why I have so much admiration for Mike. He's certainly an author who has inspired me and who inspires many other writers of crime fiction.
I believe that the framework of a crime novel, a crime investigation, is a framework that works for whatever you want to say as a writer. I do feel that, especially when you have longevity and you've written a lot of books, that you shouldn't just be satisfied with that, and you should try to have some kind of mystery with a message, or some kind of social reflection in your work. I think the biggest issue in Los Angeles at the moment is the homelessness problem, and so the Night Fire is about the murder of a guy in a tent on a sidewalk, and so do I solve the homeless problem? No, not at all. But I write about it, and so I put attention on it, and maybe that will inspire a reader to pay some attention to it as well.
He's always meeting a higher and higher standard. In terms of his art, his writing, when it comes to crime fiction writers in general, he's just one of the best. He's one of the best working today.
I just want to keep my head down and write stories that I would find entertaining and informative, and go from there. It's like I feel like I still got a lot of stuff to do, so